your goal, your outcomes in life are nothing but compounded habits.
There's a bunch of things you perfectly know well that you could stop doing that would improve your life.
Sometimes we need that. You know, maybe you need me to say it or not. Maybe you knew before you even started this video that there were some things you need to cut from life. Maybe some things that were wrong.
Break habits that are not helping you become a stronger version of yourself. You see them, you know they're there. Be honest about it. If it's taking you off track, just get rid of it.
If you want to have more, you have to become more. So for things to change, you've got to change. For things to get better, you've got to get better. And when you improve, everything and all your results improve around you.
If you want to change the world, start off by making your bed. If you make your bed every morning, you will have accomplished the first task of the day. It will give you a small sense of pride, and it will encourage you to do another task, and another, and another. The little things in life matter. If you can't do the little things right, you'll never be able to do the big things right.
And if you want to sort out the world, then what you do is you sort yourself out. It's a serious business, right? They say it's more difficult to rule yourself than to rule a city.
You can change the behavior that you want to, and with that, you can change your life. Changing behavior is a skill. It's something that you can learn to do. You can get better at creating new habits.
You have to be willing to start. And for people that procrastinate, starting is the hardest part. For people that worry, for people that think too big, starting is the hardest part.
If for 10 years, if you didn't avoid doing what you knew you needed to do, by your own definitions, right, within the value structure that you've created, to the degree that you've done that, what would you be like?
You are responsible for your life. And if you're sitting around waiting on somebody to save you, to fix you, to even help you, you are wasting your time, because only you have the power to take responsibility to move your life forward.
You can create yourself. In fact, no one else is going to create you.
Everybody has to start somewhere. It starts with you taking responsibility for you and saying, hey, I got to go out and get one little skill at a time.
The key is to slowly grow your mini habits into full habits.
Make up your mind you're going to do it every day, every day, every day, until you don't have to think about it, and then you'll automatically do it.
You can't achieve great things by procrastinating more and more. The only way to get what you really want in life is to stop procrastinating and start taking action.
You can change, that you can change anything you want.
Start each day with a task completed. Find someone to help you through life. Respect everyone. Know that life is not fair and that you will fail often. But if you take some risks, step up when the times are the toughest, face down the bullies, lift up the downtrodden, and never ever give up.
It's the repeated pushing yourself a little bit harder, like taking a little bit more risk. That's how big things happen. It's 1,000 small steps.
And if you are watching television all the time and you're playing video games and you're stuck at home and you're not really living a rich and full life, that's also not anything to do with the media or society or the fact that you're tired after work. No, that's you. You're responsible for that. So take full responsibility.
So if you don't like what you're experiencing and what you're producing as results in your life, you have to change your mental, your visual, and your behavioral responses to the events that occur in your life. Remember this, nothing will change for the better until you do.
There is time. You got time. We don't think that we have time because we're impatient in our world today. You got time. If you're in the wrong thing, get out of the wrong thing, because you got time to find things. Quit the wrong thing now. You know when it's not right. It's just hard to admit it sometimes. It's true.
make a decision. Decide clearly that you are going to begin acting in a specific way 100% of the time whenever that behavior is required.
The secret of success is determined by your daily agenda. What you want to be tomorrow, you've got to do today.
Have goals, life goals, yearly goals, monthly goals, daily goals, and understand that to achieve these goals, you must apply discipline and consistency. In order to achieve your goals, you must apply discipline, which you have already done, and consistency every day, not just on Tuesday and miss a few days. You have to work at it every day. You have to plan. Working really hard is what successful people do.
Your footprints to success are really footprints of success. Because every step that is made and taken based upon the goals that you have for your life, every step is the progressive realization of success in your life.
Good habits are hard to form, but easy to live with. Bad habits are easy to form, but hard to live with. So the rule is form good habits and make them your masters.
Habits come down to one golden rule, and that's this. You can never change the things that trigger you. You can't control your urges or how you might feel, but you can always choose how you behave. If you want to break a habit, once you have a habit, it's always going to be encoded in your brain. The only way that you can break it is to replace it with new behavior.
This means when you go to sleep at night, think about your goals for the coming day. Make a list for each day of all the goals, the little goals you're going to accomplish that day. Keep a journal and write down your goals on a regular basis. You see, you do become what you think about most of the time. You do achieve what you think about most of the time. So all successful people and all wealthy people think about their goals most of the time.
The things that get scheduled are the things that get done, and vague goals lead to vague results.
Have you ever noticed how hard it is to just get started? How hard it is to get to the gym? How hard it is to get out of bed? You need activation energy to start the change, to start to sit down, to start to get out of bed, to start to walk out the door. That's the key to creating any kind of change. This activation energy inside of you that causes the initial boom. And then what do we hear over time? Once you start, there's a chain reaction, and that allows you to keep going.
Self-discipline is the ability to make yourself do what you should do, when you should do it, whether you feel like it or not. You see, anybody can do it if they feel like it. It's when you don't feel like it and you do it anyway that you eventually develop the self-discipline that makes everything else possible.
Discipline is not punishment. It's not. Discipline is training. If you change your mind, your mindset, and really focus it on what discipline really is, you start to welcome discipline. You welcome self-discipline into your life.
You're not only going to blow up the system in your head and the tricks that your brain uses to stop you right now, you're going to shake up your entire life.
Discipline is your best friend. It will take care of you like nothing else can.
Remember, just because you're doing a lot more doesn't mean you're getting a lot more done. Don't confuse movement with progress.
And we do live in a world where there's such a fascination with entertainment, and everyone loves pretty pictures. And it's really easy to spend the best hour of your best days looking at what your friends are eating. And I'm suggesting to you, you think like a student, because you're watching this mastery session because something deep within you wants you to be the master of your game. And here's the thing about every master. Every master thinks like a beginner. They're always learning.
Anything you want good, you can have. So claim it. Work hard to get it. Don't just aspire to make a living. Aspire to make a difference.
Make today count.
As Walt Disney said, if you can dream it, you can do it. Now, what makes me laugh is I know right now some of the people listening to that, they say that's bullshit. They're just limits to what humans can do. And I get that response. I understand it. I used to respond to everything like that. I used to see only the difficulty. I used to see only the ways in which it couldn't work out. And I couldn't see. I was literally blinded by fear. I was blinded by some bizarre sense of pride that wanted to justify my limited existence, that didn't want to have to face that I could be doing more, that I could be more, that my life was somehow less than what it could be. And so I would laugh at quotes like that. And I know right now I have the chills. I know right now there are people that are laughing at that, and all they can think about are the limits. All they can think about are the things that prove him wrong. And guess what? He is wrong. There really are limits. But if you fucking waste your time focused on that, you're never going to create the momentum that you need to actually make something come true in your life. You can build virtually anything, but if you get hung up on the fucking virtual part, if you let that stop you, if you immediately go to the things that ultimately limit you and hold you back, that is where you're gonna stay forever. Because if you argue for your limitations, guess what, my friend? They become yours. And congratulations, you now get to live in that box. You get to live in that self-defined prison. But if, like Teddy Roosevelt said, instead of that, you keep your eyes on the stars and your feet on the ground, and you don't act like somebody who can't see that sure, there are limits, there are edges to this universe, but you're looking not at that. You're looking at how do you really execute. You're dreaming big, and you're remembering that your feet ultimately is that contact point. It is where the rubber meets the road. It is that moment of doing. And so if instead of rejecting it because your feet must stay planted on the ground, remember that in keeping your feet on the ground, that's the moment of action. That's the moment of doing something about it. That's the moment of seeing the fucking possibilities and then moving, doing something, making it real. So right now, give up on those weird mental mechanisms that make you actually want to fight for the things that aren't possible, to get people to believe in it, to get people to understand why you've chosen to stand still. Instead of that, convince yourself that you should be moving and go do what you know you're destined to do.